So my name's Amy. I did maths and science at university, went from there into investment banking and private equity. I always loved gardens in my mind. My dad did a garden design course when I was about 15 and totally transformed their garden and their lives in terms of their enjoyment of it. Then we got to the stage, just had my third child, we hit lockdown. I was totally done with my job. We bought a house which needed a garden ultimately doing, and I basically just said to myself, well, why am I paying someone else to have the fun? I want to do it, and if I can do that, why can't I do other people's? And got me to sitting here today. So I ultimately chose the London College Garden Design, having done quite a lot of Googling, researching, talking to alumni of various different programmes. And I think it came down to the fact that the two Andrew Fisher-Tomlin and Andrew Wilson, huge amounts of experience between them, award-winning, beautiful gardens. I liked their style, and I like the fact they're so involved and they are in there teaching us on a regular basis. I like the fact a lot that it is a garden programme in its entirety. It's not added on to an interior art bigger programme, and it's kind of like the add-on to that. For me it was very useful. I like the fact that they embrace technology so much in terms of you can, if you want to, do all your designs and your drawings by hand, but they spend time teaching you and actively encouraging you to use the software. As a non-arts background, that's very useful. Their alumni are award-winning, world famous, and I think that speaks a lot from when you're coming into a course as to the kind of quality that the teaching will give you. I think there were a few things that the London College Garden Design offered that I couldn't find on other programmes. Being in Kew, which is wonderful. It's kind of real life examples of the design, the plants, what does well together, going out and seeing, does this plant grow off that plant? There's a nice a design combination that I like, which really then helps when you're doing the work yourself to kind of do your planting plan or your design layout. I also think it offered, again, for me personally, that kind of technology side and giving you the tools to not just learn, here's the design, here's how you design a garden, but actually you can then walk into the real world and you've learned more than just design. You've learned construction drawing, you've learned surveying, you've learned how to use the software, which, particularly if you want to go work in another studio, that's what they're looking for. So hopefully puts you then kind of at the top of the pile when you're walking in the door. I like the fact there's a lot of tutors for kind of the number of students. I think it's only ever a good thing, particularly because I think they quite actively try and broaden the age, the gender, the background to those tutors, which really then helps kind of give you the breadth of opinions, ideas that you can feed off. And I like the fact, I wasn't sure about the fact, but I've now liked the fact that it's done in groups. So you don't just get your learning, you get the learning from the other people in your tutorial group and what their design struggles are or their technology struggles are, and it helps kind of that collaborative learning as well as just your own. It's helpful that there's the option to do stuff on Zoom as well. So I like coming in, I like seeing the others and that process of coming to Kew, but not just for Chukka, for any reason. If you can't come in, there's lectures are recorded, you can join the online Zoom, and there's deadlines for submissions, but there is always flexibility within that if something comes up that just means that you couldn't get there on time. I think my main bit of advice if you're studying on the course would be just go for it. If you're not sure, they do kind of the shorter courses, which I know a lot of people on the full course with me have previously done as a kind of, do I want to make the leap? But I would say do it. It's all encompassing, so it really will set you up wonderfully well to then do the reality, do the gardening in practice, not just kind of the theory behind it all.